What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Aha, and we're continuing our journey through their 2000 album Minor Earth Major Sky. I have to say, the last tune, Little Black Heart, made a big impression on me. It was a really special track. Really excites me for the remainder of the album, and what hit me so strongly is that it had a synth pop sound, but it wasn't identical to what they did in the 80s, certainly wasn't identical to what they had done the last couple albums. And indeed, I think I've mentioned it before, one of the things I love about certain bands I've been listening to for a long time is the way in which, over time, as they evolve, as they branch out and explore some different sonic avenues, they nevertheless maintain certain calling cards, certain hallmarks of their sound. And that's what I heard in Little Black Heart. I heard synth pop, but I heard a synth pop that was different and evolved from what they had done in the 80s. It was obviously different from the last couple albums before that, the more sort of guitar and rock driven albums. So it was really special in that many of the things that I've come to recognize and love in Aha's music were there. Morton's voice, the sort of composition of the track, the arrangement, the sort of transitions from measure to measure and so on. But it was done in a way that was different from anything that I had heard before, despite the fact that it featured characteristics or attributes that were very resonant to what I've come to love about this group. So, bottom line, it was a great tune, got me very excited for the rest of the album. And yeah, the next track on the album, Minor Earth Major Sky, is Velvet. You know, it's a single word title, tends to be a little harder to get a read on those. If I were to speculate, I would just say, you know, it's a sort of, it's a texture, or it's a material. And, you know, my understanding is it has sort of like a soft, like a rich texture to it, which, you know, it makes me think of that episode of Seinfeld where George talks about being ensconced in velvet. But perhaps it could serve as a metaphor for something that is tactile, or perhaps like personal and intimate, that has this rich texture to it. Yeah, ultimately, I'm not sure how it may come into play. Once again, like, single word titles are a little harder for me to get a read on, but let's check it out. This is Aha, Velvet, from their 2000 album Minor Earth Major Sky. It does feel sort of like rich and soft.
Her skin is like velvet,
Tactile.
her face cut from stone.
one sort of led into the next measure before the break. She singing on the track. Anyone know? I'm sure a number of you do. Powerful bass strokes were fantastic. Yeah, really cool. I am curious, who the she is, not only the actual vocalist on the track, but like conceptually in the song, who that's supposed to be or who that is. But yeah, really cool. And again, I suppose the one sort of angle that I was thinking about, the idea of velvet serving as a metaphor for something that is soft and richly textured, it seems to be going in line with that. The idea that both her skin and maybe her voice too are like velvet. Yeah, it seemed to be a song celebrating a very beautiful woman, maybe beautiful, not just in terms of like visual beauty, but also like personal beauty, more deeply, more fundamentally. Certainly like vocal beauty, which is manifesting as you're hearing that. So. Yeah, I like what the track did. Not quite sure who we're talking about, but I really enjoyed the layering of that. And it's interesting because when it started, there was like one of the vocal lines of the like female voice. It was like, wait a minute, like I know Morton can go super high, but that actually doesn't sound like his voice. So yeah, over the course of the track, it became clear that we were in fact hearing two voices. But yeah, let me know what you think of the tune. Again, let me know if you're aware of who that female vocalist was. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace.